look a little crazy right now. Okay, anyways, hello everybody, welcome back to Learn With Me. Today we're going to be talking about prions. So, what are prions? They are abnormally folded proteins that lack DNA, and the way that they replicate is by causing other normal proteins to rearrange themselves in the wrong structure. Those misfolded proteins build up in the brain, which eventually leads to tissue damage and neurological clinical signs and deficits. There are a bunch of different diseases that are related to prions. Most of them only infect one species. So far has only been documented in North American deer, elk, moose, and caribou. Some prion diseases, such as mad cow disease, are able to infect multiple species. So there is chronic wasting disease, which, like I said, targets deer, elk, reindeer, and moose. Scrapie, which affects sheep. Bovine spongiform encephalopathy. Probably said that wrong, also known as mad cow disease, which is mostly in bovines, but new variant CJD affects humans. There is transmissible mink encephalopathy, which only affects minks. Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, which affects humans. It occurs spontaneously in 1 out of every 1 million people. New variant CJD affects humans as a result of mad cow prions transmitted from a cow to human through infected meat. And then Kuru, which is in humans. It says it's currently extinct disease from Papua New Guinea that was spread through cannibalism. At this time, there is no known treatment or vaccine for CWD. All animals infected with CWD will invariably die of the disease. Incubation time varies. Most CWD research suggests the incubation period ranges from 16 months to 4 years, with an average of 2 years. Could remain infectious in soil for at least 2 years, but likely longer. Prion diseases found in humans are known to have incubation times of several decades. Researchers are trying to determine if CWD prions can infect humans. So this was specifically information from the Virginia Department of Wildlife Resources. And then I also have an article pulled up from the Johns Hopkins Medicine.org something. So this is again saying that prion diseases comprise of several different conditions. A prion is a type of protein which can trigger normal proteins to fold normally, can affect humans and animals. Humans are animals. They are sometimes spread to humans by infected meat products, which is in the last article. The source of the abnormal protein is unknown in many cases. The most common form that affects humans is Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, CJD. Prion diseases are rare. About 300 cases are reported each year in the US. And then it lists CJD. A person can inherit this condition. In that case, it's familial CJD. Sporadic CJD, on the other hand, develops suddenly without any known risk factors. Most cases of CJD are sporadic. They tend to strike people around age 60. Acquired CJD is caused from exposure to infected tissue during a medical procedure, such as a cornea transplant. Symptoms of CJD quickly lead to severe disability and death. In most cases, death occurs within a year. Variant CJD is an infectious type of the disease which is related to mad cow disease. Eating diseased meat may cause this disease in humans. The meat may cause normal human prion protein to develop abnormally. Usually affects younger people and is becoming less common. Variably protease sensitive prionopathy, BPSPR, is also extremely rare like CJD, but the protein is less sensitive to digestion and is more likely to strike people at around 70 who have a history of dementia. I cannot say this because I think that it's German, so I'm going to butcher it. Gerstmann-Straussler Ganker disease. GSS is an extremely rare type, occurs at an earlier age, typically around 40. Kuru was a disease seen in New Guinea. It's caused by eating human brain tissue contaminated with infectious prions. Because of increased awareness about the disease and how it is transmitted, Kuru is now rare. Fatal insomnia says it's wait. Oh, okay. So fatal insomnia is a prion disease. It's a rare hereditary disorder. It causes trouble sleeping. But anyways, the reason why I was shocked when I was reading this was because previously I saw a picture that somebody made of mental illnesses, diseases, stuff like that, and it was like the iceberg trend where it's not, as you get to the bottom of the iceberg, it's not like which one is worse than any other. It's which one is more obscure or less known. And in that iceberg, they listed fatal familial insomnia somewhere towards the end. Actually, I want to see if I can find it so I can read more about that. Wait, I can just search. It's in, yeah, so they have 8 sections of the iceberg, and fatal familial insomnia is in the 6th section, which means it's more obscure. And I wrote in that about that condition. This is a rare genetic condition that causes insomnia, dementia, and muscle twitching that worsens over time until it becomes life-threatening. The word for increasingly worsening disorders, etc., is degenerative. It targets the brain, specifically the section that regulates sleep. Treatments can slow the progression of this condition, but as of right now, there is no cure. I lost my train of thought. Some of these are longer because there's more information, or it's a more well-known, well-studied condition, and this one didn't have a lot, so it's got a pretty short paragraph. And there's a sporadic form of the disease that is not inherited. Normal prion protein is found on the surface of many cells. Prion diseases occur when this protein becomes abnormal and clumps in the brain, then causes brain damage. This abnormal buildup of protein in the brain can lead to memory problems, personality changes, and trouble with movement. Experts still don't know a lot about prion diseases, but unfortunately, these disorders are fatal. Who is at risk? If you have a family history of prion disease, eat meat infected by mad cow disease, or are infected with contaminated corneas. What are the symptoms? Symptoms of prion diseases include rapidly developing dementia, difficulty walking and changes in gait, jerking movements of the muscles, hallucinations, muscle stiffness, confusion, fatigue, and difficulty speaking. They are diagnosed by taking a sample of brain tissue during a biopsy or after death. Given the risks of brain biopsy, a number of other tests are often done instead. These can help diagnose prion diseases such as CJD or rule out other diseases with similar symptoms. Prion diseases should be considered in all people who have dementia that is quickly getting worse. The tests include MRI scans of the brain, spinal tap, lumbar puncture to take samples of fluid from the spinal cord, electroencephalogram, a painless test that looks at brain waves by placing electrodes on the scalp, blood tests, nervous system and visual exams to check for nerve damage and vision loss, genetic tests to look for known hereditary causes of prion disease. This is especially important if other family members have been affected. They can't be cured, but certain medicines may help slow their progress. Medical care focuses on keeping people with these diseases as safe and comfortable as possible despite worsening and debilitating symptoms. Properly cleaning and sterilizing medical equipment may prevent the spread of this disease. If you have or may have CJD, don't donate organs or tissue, including corneal tissue. Newer regulations that govern the handling and feeding of cows may help prevent the spread of prion diseases. As prion diseases progress, people with these diseases generally need help taking care of themselves. In some cases, they may be able to stay in their homes, but they eventually may need to move to a care facility. Key points about prion diseases: they're very rare, diagnosis is difficult, but should be considered in all people whose dementia. We already read that. Symptoms can progress rapidly, requiring help with daily needs. Prion diseases are always fatal. Next steps. Tips to help get the most from a visit to your healthcare provider. Know the reason for your visit and what you want to happen. Before your visit, write down questions you want answered. Bring someone with you to help you ask questions and remember what your provider tells you. At the visit, write down the name of a new diagnosis and any new medicines, treatments, or tests. Also write down any new instructions your provider gives you. Know why a new medicine or treatment is prescribed and how it will help you. Also know what the side effects are. Ask if your condition can be treated in other ways. Know why a test or procedure is recommended and what the results could mean. Know what to expect if you do not take the medicine or have the test or procedure. If you have a follow-up appointment, write down the date, time, and purpose for that visit. Know how you can contact your provider if you have questions. I like that they added that at the end. So I did know a little bit about that I actually didn't know that I know. So now I know more than I knew. Anyways, Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.